Boston Gardeners, another sellout crowd. As we get ready to run one for the NBA's best squad, taking on the Hornets, trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. Here's White. Here's Hauser off the screen, fires the three, and he's been on a nice heater of late. Made 4 threes in 4 attempts 2 nights ago, and Boston strikes first. Rozier working against White. Robert Williams against Hayward. Rozier pulls. Loose ball goes to Robert Williams. Tatum will bring it into the front court. The last time these two teams met, Tatum lit them up for 51. Off the short roll, White strikes the three.
2 possessions, 2 outstanding examples of execution. Stagger screen for a great shooter, and then your big man on the catch pitch into the corner.
LaMelo Ball looks at the official. Dedrick Taylor looking for a call, won't get it, but he got the 3. Young man that plays with unbridled confidence. Here's Tatum guarded by Hayward. One-time teammates. Here's White on the drive, touches the paint, and gets it to fall. Boy, how good has he been since coming over in a trade about this time last year from the San Antonio Spurs. Ball with the float game, pure.
Boy, at his size, so they put Derek White, an outstanding individual defender, on him, and he makes easy work of it. Once with his range shooting, and that time with his ability to get off the bounce. I mean, offensively, there's not a thing LaMelo can't do, Mark. He's got to obviously get better decision-making, pick and roll, end-of-game execution. But from a skill standpoint, my goodness.
Got the whole package. Off the air ball, it'll be Hornets basketball. One more look.
So you're operating on the switch. Hauser picks him up, but he dances him off him and into a 3.
Hayward. Off the screen by Williams. Hayward had a good look at it. Gordon Hayward has been in and out of the lineup at times this year due to various injuries, but healthy now. Tatum lobs it up for Williams, and it was blocked, packed on the glass by Mark Williams. Rozier in transition pulls it out. Here's Ball. Little guard-to-guard screening action. LaMelo misses. Boy, Mark Williams getting his first start, making his impact defensively there.
Are you kidding me? I mean, the entire building thought it was goaltending. Yeah. I'm not sure it was. You can see why they are very high on Mark Williams and why the absence of Plumlee allows you to play 2 young guys. So Mason Plumlee, out he goes. He's off the roster. Trade deadline, he's gone. Now, let's see. Is this at all?
Tough to tell from that angle, but it looks clean.
That looks clean and on the way up.
When you catch another man's stuff like that, it's impressive.
Well, man. Unless you're the other man.
Yeah. Tatum on the wing. Drives and gets the foul. That's going to be the second quick personal foul, Doris, against Gordon Hayward. So head coach Steve Clifford looks down at his bench and contemplates his next move as Tatum goes to the free throw line. Tatum shooting 87% from the stripe on the season. Mention the fact that he had 12 points, a career low, Doris, but what does it say about this Boston team that he can only score 12 and they win going away against an impressive Philadelphia team?
I think what you've seen from Jason Tatum is a willingness when he's been double-teamed, when he's been blitzed, of moving it quickly and understanding this is not going to show up in the box score, right? It might be a hockey assist, but I'm not getting an assist in the box score. That's patience, that's maturity. And by the way, big game from Blake. They got 41 points for their bench. Their depth was on full display.
Rozier inside, had it knocked away. Here's Hauser running the floor in transition. Steps through, misfires. Williams with the follow. Loose ball, and Hayward comes out of the pack. Williams got tied up, missed it, got it back, and drew the foul on Robert Williams. So Mark Williams out of Duke will go to the free throw line for a pair.
Boy, you talk about Mark Williams. This guy's live body. You know, the presence at the rim. I mean, Plumlee is so solid, right? You know, Plumlee, career high, over 12 points per game, excellent on the offensive glass. But his departure means Nick Richards and Mark Williams can get some minutes and start to operate with the guy who's going to have the ball in his hands moving forward for Steve Clifford. That's LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, intimated that you should expect to see a lot more ball screen type of offense, run through ball with Mark Williams and Nick Richards setting the screens. Boston up by 3 after the free throw. Here's Grant Williams. Hauser off the pin down. Williams puts it on the deck and touches the paint. Tipped up by Williams. And here's LaMelo. Inside, a sweet time, Washington, and one.
Come on, how about the little look off by LaMelo Ball, and then the touch on the pass. This is over the outstretched arms of the defense. Washington does a great job with the rim run. Going to slow down to make the catch. Pretty pass, easily done.
That foul was against Grant Williams. Charlotte coming off a loss a couple of nights ago in Washington. They led at the half, but let it go late. Tie the game at 10 here. Joe Mazzulla, youngest head coach in the NBA right now, calls the play. Tatum splits the double.
That's
and got
ridiculous.
the soft touch.
That's ridiculous. He splits the double team at the point of attack. The footwork, the handle in tight spaces, that move's ridiculous.
Tightened up his handle over the offseason, working with his trainer, Drew Hanlon, on his various skills, and added a floater, he says, during the summer.
Watch this. To split it, you've got to cross the ball in front of the defender, then Euro step pass, and somehow have enough touch in a full speed below the free throw line. That's ridiculous.
Wow, there's a reason, Doris, as you alluded at the top of the show, that he's on pace to become the first Celtic to average 30 or more points a game. Grant Williams. Knocked out of bounds. It'll come back to the Hornets.
You know what it is? There's an ease about the way Jason Tatum now sees it and manipulates the game. Even that last pass to the corner, there's a point at which I did not think he was an instinctual passer. I was dead wrong. And this was just about getting reps and rhythm and finding his way.
Yeah, close to 5 assists per game. LaMelo is a hot fellow right now, off to a good start. 7 points.
How much fun is it just talking to that young guy? And you know what? Loves the game, like loves to play.
Head coach Steve Clifford raved about his ability to want to be coach. White with the and one on the foul. That's going to go against Rozier. But yeah, he was extremely engaging and, boy, poised that belies his age when we sat down with him earlier.
Yeah, he's got the handle to navigate to any space. He sees traffic in the paint. Let me get to my mid-range, little behind the back. And he cracks me up because you see these videos, you see the sneakers. I said to him this morning, I said, you are so understated in everything you do. Look at those shoes, money.
Yeah, on those shoes it says, quote, not from here. I asked him about it. He says, yeah, you know, it's just something different. He is a unique player. And here comes Tatum off the miss. Boston by 3. They double team Tatum. It's knocked out of bounds. It stays Boston basketball. Tatum had 51 against the Hornets last time. Something that surely made the top of the Charlotte scouting report.
he's one of one. And LaMelo's story has been well documented. Not many 16-year-olds have their own reality show, and no one has taken the same road he did to the NBA. But even with that spotlight on him for so long, LaMelo likes to keep things low-key, describing himself as a homebody who, after games, goes straight home to hang with his dogs. And they certainly are interesting company, guys. He has 2 Shar-Peis, a Great Dane, and a North American Mastiff. A Great Dane can get up to 175 pounds and 32 inches. The Mastiff can get up to 200 pounds and stand up to 36 inches tall. Plus, he told us he lives in a 3-bedroom condo, so those size dogs he can't help but hang out with when he's home. He also said his dog food bill is steep, Mark and Norris.
Wow, wow. Hey, Cassidy, I know he doesn't need a security system. I know he doesn't need security, as Blake Griffin has his teammates back off the miss. Security enough there, but a Mastiff and a...
Yes, you need a mop.
Great Dane.
Because
yeah.
one of those drools a lot.
Inside Williams.
Good look.
And Melo drops a dime. Great pass to Mark Williams. You know, we wanted to actually show you what his kennel looks like. Oh, he got the ears clipped on the... Oh, look at that.
Not the Mastiff. The
No.
Mastiff's not there, I guess.
No, but the Mastiff's not. But that's a lot of love at home waiting for you when you come through. A lot of drool too, as you say, Doris. And some protection. Here's what you really need to know about LaMelo Ball as Williams misses the free throw. Steve Clifford told us that after they got blown out in Chicago recently, he got a text later that night at his hotel from LaMelo, and it said, "Coach, I don't like playing like that. I don't like what happened. Can we sit down and watch some tape tonight?" And that's the type of ambition that you love to see in a young player, Doris.
Unequivocally, greatness doesn't come cheap in this league. Got to pay the price.
That free throw snaps a 7-0 Boston run. Brogdon kicks it to Tatum for 3. A little bit strong, and Hayward with the board.
See the quality of shots, even when they're missing, that the Celtics are generating on Mark.
LaMelo thought about it. Brogdon switches on to him. Hayward one-on-one, drives it. Got a little bit of space and knocked it down.
This has been a season where it feels like there's been injuries and things that have derailed, Charlotte's season. And Hayward's absence is big, just because of his shot-making, playmaking, easy to play with, moves it.
Blake Griffin missing the jump shot. Blake got off to a great start in the first quarter on Wednesday night against Philadelphia, hitting 3 threes. LaMelo had that 3 rattle in and out. And here's Tatum. Jason Tatum so far, a couple of field goals. He's got 6 points. Whips it cross court to Brogdon, who this year has been a seamless fit for the Celtics. Ball skips through. Rozier on the drive. Over Griffin, but left it short. Since getting Rob Williams back, their defense has improved. Offensively, no such issues with Tatum on the handle. Draws the foul.
You see why Tatum's taking a career-high free throw attempts.
That's going to be the second personal foul against LaMelo Ball. Tatum going to the free throw line, an 87% free throw shooter. We alluded to the fact that Tatum has used the crushing disappointment last year in the finals as fuel. As we take a look at the upcoming national TV schedule, NBA TV tomorrow night has Philadelphia at Brooklyn at 6. NBA TV Monday has Denver, Miami. Then TNT Tuesday has Boston, Milwaukee, Golden State Clippers. For more on these games, go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. Jason Tatum actually moved his chef's family to Boston. He's that serious about his body being in the right place for the playoffs this upcoming year, and has stuck to a very strict and rigid nutritional plan.
It's because, Mark, he was very honest, saying he was absolutely exhausted at the end of that finals run, both physically and mentally.
Griffin battling Williams. Thor with the rebound, out to Smith. Nice lob up top.
Well, good find by Dennis Smith Jr. And Thor's activity has been uplifting for this group.
It's going to be those 2 young big guys without Plumlee moving forward. Nick Richards getting set to check into the ball game. Hayward deflected it away. Hornets with a 3-on-1, a 4-on-1. Four, score it. And they pull back to within one. Brogdon in the front court. Mike Muscala, the newest addition, will check into the ball game for the Celtics. As Brogdon turns it over, Smith Jr. dives on the deck and couldn't come up with it.
He was cheated over to give assistance on the drive, gets a hand on the ball, and then you love him giving up his body like that, Dennis Smith Jr. You've got to contain the ball, or you open yourself up to the ball flying around for open threes against Boston. So the pinch in, the little strip, I just love the effort and the hustle.
Mike Muscala getting his first run. Came over in a deal from OKC. Blake Griffin had a notion over to Tatum. Off the screen, Tatum a little too much jelly, but he'll get 2 free throws back to the free throw line. And Doris, you referred to the fact that he's doing a lot more free throw shooting this year.
Free throws, layups, and dunks, taking 9 threes just about a game. It's he has tightened his game, tightened his handle, built his body differently. Watch the left hand inside out. So this is his weak hand. Inside out might look easy. This is it right here. Boom. That's not easy to execute going downhill against a defender with your weak hand. You know why you can do that? Because you put time in to do that.
He talked about working on getting better driving angles to get to the basket. And you saw an example right there. 2-point Boston lead as we approach 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Celtics looking to make it 6 straight wins against Charlotte. Smith Jr. a little bit strong. Griffin with the board. Brogdon behind the screen. He's amongst league leaders in 3-point shooting at about 46%. Smith Jr. slams on the brakes. Thor, pass never made it. Brogdon with the steal. Puts his head down, touch the paint. Thor with a nice block.
Mark his activity, end to end. Thor sprinting.
All 94 feet. That pass goes to Boston. Pritchard a 2-on-1. Lobs it up, and Tatum with the crush. Timeout, Charlotte. Peyton Pritchard put it up in the atmosphere where only guys like Tatum can breathe in that thin, rare air. tonight with 10. Remember, he had 51 against Charlotte the last time these two teams ran one. Out of the timeout, Rozier with an 18-footer and Kansas. Nice play drawn up by Steve Clifford.
The Tatum's averaging 39.7 points per game against the Charlotte Hornets.
He sends the bus to make sure that they get to the arena, huh? Brogdon on the wing. Here's Tatum again against the shorter Dennis Smith Jr. They double team him on the bounce. Mike Muscala from the corner got it.
Again, the patience. If you allow him to split the initial double team, or actually once he's picked up the ball, the double, and you allow him to step through, well, it's numbers on the backside. That's a dangerous thing.
Smith Jr. with the miss. Here's Tatum behind the Griffin screen. They were double teaming him. It was knocked away.
So Muscala, a nice addition. Smart, savvy, shot-making big. Watch Tatum split the double, step through it, to the corner opposite, and boom.
Mike Muscala wearing number 57 as a Boston Celtic as Brogdon cans that three. But Muscala wearing 57. I asked him why prior to the game. He said, that's my late mother, her birth year, 1957. So he likes taking her to the court each time. Here's Pritchard in a rush. Brogdon, drive and kick. Pritchard for three. Butter.
It's appropriate he get the bucket because he started putting the pressure on Charlotte's defense immediately.
The lead is up to 8. Got a whistle and a violation on the side, a foul against the Celtics. That's going to go against number 57, Mike Muscala. Lost his mom several years ago. But a nice addition for the Celtics team, who, if you remember, started off the year at a torrid, historically high offensive pace, especially shooting the three-pointer. Oh, what a hezzy by Rozier. Missed the shot, and Brogdon will bring it into the front court, and now here's Tatum. It's about a 3-second difference between the shot and game clock. Brogdon against Smith Jr. out top. They flatten it out in a 1-4 set. Muscala open for three, another one. Griffin with the board, got 3 seconds. Pritchard launches. And that's the end of the first 12 minutes of play. The Boston Celtics with an 8-point lead, 32-24 when we come back to TD Garden. Offensive rebound by Nick Richards, who's in the ball game at the 5. LaMelo Ball back in as well to start the second with 2 on the shot clock. Derek White! Wow!
He was looking for the foul, but Zach Zarba saying even though the ball was touched by Dennis Smith, it was clean. So how he makes that shot?
At the end of the shot clock, Washington got all the way to the steal. And the lead is down to 7. Pritchard with pace. Hands it off to White. Smith Jr. all over him. Dennis Smith Jr. has improved this team's defense since joining them earlier this season. Hauser off the mark. Richards with the rebound. Smith Jr., a really compelling story, was almost out of the league at one point. As Washington knocks down the long ball, it was a long 2, not a 3. Pritchard out top for the Celtics. They double team him. Long 3 by White is good. Man, he is still on a heater.
Just excellent concentration. I thought Dennis Smith, whose activity defensively has been good. Good challenge on it. Just great concentration by White.
McDaniels inside to Richards with another easy one. Boy, the ball finds energy, and Nick Richards has it right now. A couple of easy slams around the bucket makes it a 6-point game. Heat check. White has been dynamite. I'm talking about to the tune of over 18 points per game in the last 6. Ball pulls it out. Nice post up by Richard, but he pushed off. That's going to be an offensive foul against Richards.
Derek White does so many things for this basketball team. That's the shot I was talking about. Dennis Smith actually gets a piece of it. Ball reversal with the Celtics leads to so many of their open threes. Good challenge by Smith. And then the efficiency. I mean, Boston in the first quarter was 5 for 11 from 3. 5 different players have made one. You've got to guard everybody. It feels at every spot except for this guy with the ball, and then he becomes your rim threat.
They got you covered in all 3 areas. On the step through and a whistle and a foul. Williams was going to the bucket. That foul is going to be against Robert Williams, his second personal foul.
Think about the Boston Celtics and even their last win against Philadelphia. They're down 3 starters. They lose a 4th in Jaylen Brown and still beat the 76ers.
Impressive. Extremely impressive. Muscala with the board off the miss. Marcus Smart still out as well. Horford out again. Pritchard. Williams relocates for 3. And McGowan's with the rebound. Ball with the hit ahead to Washington Jr. Muscala got a piece of that. Moved his feet well too. White. Back out to Mike Muscala for 3. Tell you what, he looks pretty comfortable. The assimilation process is happening quickly, Doris.
Boston's last 7 field goals made have been threes, and it's just coming from everywhere. Muscala, I thought, was a little tired, was trailing the play.
Off the steal, Pritchard on the drive. Got it. Timeout, Hornets. A blitz and a flurry of 3-pointers. An 8-0 run for the Celtics.
Individual who has made an overwhelming impact.
73-9 season. How do you sum up the ride that you guys are on right now, and what has been the key to your success this season?
I think just building our game as the year's gone on. It's a lot of trust, a lot of love in that locker room. You know, we enjoy each other and going to work every day. But like those guys, probably with Golden State too, you don't talk about the record. You don't talk about stuff like that. We just show up and we just want to have fun and get a result every night.
Well, you came out hot out of the gate, just like the Celtics, setting another record, 14 straight wins at home. And when we think about, you know, here at TD Garden, Celtics fans obviously gravitate towards that parkour floor. But what is it for you playing in this building? What does it mean playing in front of these fans as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think the coolest thing is looking up and in the rafters. For me, you see all the history, all the guys that played and shared this jersey. A lot of them come back and they cheer you on. You get to have relationships with some of those guys. To me, I think just seeing how much they care about the past, the present, and the future of the organization, it just shows you how special it is to wear that Bruins logo.
Well, tomorrow on ABC is your first game since that All-Star break. Next week, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they're going to be playing in that All-Star game in Salt Lake City. I mean, you're here as a fan tonight, so what do you make of the duo of the Jays, and do you feel like they're going to repeat and be back into the finals this season?
Yeah, I mean, very well-deserved All-Stars, the two of them. They're a lot of fun to watch, as well as the whole team. Last year was really special getting to watch them go on that run. Hopefully this year they'll get a chance to change the ending.
Well, thanks for taking the time, and good luck tomorrow against Alex Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals. You can see that game at 3:30 Eastern on ABC.
All right, thanks a lot, Cass.
All right, you got to answer.
Boston. I'm just going to say this. From a diehard Toronto Maple Leafs hockey fan, growing up on the Toronto Maple Leafs, this is a bitter place for me to be right now in Boston because it was a rival game, and outside of the Montreal Canadiens, Toronto needs to end its Stanley Cup drought now, Doris.
I feel for
1967 was the last time the Leafs won the Cup.
Can you answer a question for me? So
Hit me.
Charlie McAvoy having a heck of a season, obviously makes the All-Star team. He wears number 73. What is with hockey and the high numbers?
Yeah, they got some funky numbers in that sport. That part I can't answer. I'm not sure about that. But I tell you a number that's working right now for Boston. It's 3. Yeah,
they're plus 27 from the three-point line, if I'm not mistaken.
Derek White is 5 for 5 from deep. McGowan's, and that's going to be a charge.
And that's Derek White. So this guy is elite as a shot-blocking guard. He actually, with all the bigs on Boston, the guy who leads the team in blocks is Derek White. Look at him take that full on in the chest. He can play one or he can play two. Move without the ball, set the offense, do what you want. He's lights out from 3. He's understated. Can go minutes without getting a touch and have no complaints, just guard on the other end.
Here he is, heat check, 6 for 6, yes! He's higher than fish grease! 6 threes in the first half. Derek White tying a season high for threes already. Hayward inside. We got a whistle and 1. Look at Derek White, though.
This is just outstanding. This guy just feeling it so off the screen from Cornette, right into the 3. No hesitation. Watch out Horford's face.
Marcus Smart was feeling it too. Hey, we have to remember Derek White's story, folks. This was not a highly acclaimed player coming out of high school. His only offer out of high school was an NAIA school, Johnson and Wales, which was known for its culinary program. The coach that offered him there got a job at the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, a Division II school. He played D2 for 3 years, and then his last year transferred to Colorado, subsequently drafted by the San Antonio Spurs, and made a really good role for himself now in the NBA. Folks, he's gotten it out of the mud. He's worked for everything that he's gotten his way. $18-point lead. He's got to shoot. He's got to shoot. 6 for 7. Take him out, Doris. He's got to come out. Under 6 minutes to go. LaMelo Ball with the floater. Williams has it go to Brogdon. White on the break. Here's Tatum. Got to the rim. Hung and drew the foul. And a couple of more free throws for Tatum. His 7th and 8th of this first half.
Boston Celtics, to me, Mark, if you don't contain the ball, it just opens up so much of their three-point shooting. What are they from the three-point line right now?
12 for 22. Tatum back at the free throw line. You know, the game really doesn't start until Deuce shows up. His 5-year-old son always courtside. Sunday afternoon before Super Bowl, we'll have our ABC showcase matchup between Ja Morant and the Grizzlies, who are second in the West, and Tatum and the Eastern Conference leading Celtics. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific. You know, if you ask Deuce who the best basketball player in the world is, he'll say, Daddy and me. That's what he says.
I was told that there was a time where he believed everybody was coming to the TD Garden for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Brogdon. Celtics up by 20. Grant Williams. And Ball with the board. Nice rim run underneath. Williams with the catch. Got the shorter Brogdon on him and made him pay.
You can see why they're excited about these two young guys. It's good touch. They have the ability to sprint the floor. You know, they're going to have to get repetitions playing pick and roll basketball with their point guard.
Double team on Tatum. Over to Grant Williams. Robert Williams. Threw it right to Hayward.
Didn't like anything about Robert Williams in that possession. When he caught the ball, he wasn't really interested in having it. And look at what happens. Your disinterest offensively leads to a bucket on the other end. Poor pass, team's at a deficit.
That was an ironic sequence because that defense of the Celtics has made a meteoric rise in improvements since Williams came back. Tatum left it on the front rim. Rozier making his return to Boston. Missed it with the left. Williams had it rim out, right out to White. And Washington picks up him. Here's Robert Williams. Whips it cross court, Grant Williams. Tatum with 7 on the shot clock. Pulls the 3. Another one. Their 13th three-pointer of the first half. Got my stat man Steve LeBeau digging deep into the record book. LaMelo Ball draws the hit from White, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2. 13 three-pointers already.
Well, their record for a franchise and a half is 14. They got plenty of time. If you're going to make a switch, you've got to be up a little bit closer to contest that shot. I mean, we've seen him take much tougher shots than that with a better contest and make it look easier.
He's already got 15 as LaMelo Ball knocks down the free throw. LaMelo, 86% free throw shooter. I'm always intrigued by his interesting and circuitous route to the NBA, playing overseas. Remember, there was no collegiate career for him. Played over in Europe and Lithuania.
Plus, Mark, the fact that, as Cassidy noted, you know, he had his own reality show. I can't, whatever she said, 14 or 16. I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly. But the guy's been in the spotlight all that time. That has to be an interesting place to be from that point forward.
Child prodigy, lived his life in public for most of his young 21 years so far. An IG favorite. Williams inside and one. Well, as far as Boston goes, it's Fam over Graham. Celtics here.
Yeah, just an engaged Robert Williams on the offensive end. And think about the first year he got playing time. You were not going to put the ball in his hands and let him make decisions with it.
Yes.
He was going to be, you know, a screener and rim diver. But now they're unafraid to put him in some dribble handoffs, allow him to make a catch in the middle of the floor and make the next play.
We have still yet to see the best of Robert Williams, right, Doris? I mean, he played the finals with a torn knee ligament, basically. Washington from downtown knocks down the three. Robert Williams said he'd do it all over again the same way if given the choice. Chance to win the NBA championship doesn't come every day. They double team Tatum, skip pass to the corner, Williams. Nice show and go, one more to Derek White, found the hot guy.
This is not unfamiliar to Charlotte. They've been blitzed by the Celtics from three in a prior matchup.
A recurring nightmare. LaMelo Ball with a slick move, couldn't get it. Tipped up, no good. Williams with the rebound. The outlet to Tatum. Tatum with the snatch dribble. White, three ball. And the pass a little bit high for Grant Williams.
So Jason Tatum is an elite basketball player, but if you want to know what he's about,
McGowan's way off. Extra possession. Shot clock at 5 for Rozier, who knows these rims very well. Knocks down the mid-range. He's got 9. The lead is 17 with about 90 seconds to go here in the first half. Dennis Smith Jr. on Tatum. Tatum with a size advantage. Brogdon cross court, Grant Williams. And that is a franchise record for three-pointers made in the first half. That 15th. Washington. Blocked by Williams, corralled by White.
I tell you what, Derek White, he's got a mismatch in the post, meaning he's outsized big time. So he gets front side and prevents the pass and kicks it off. Taking a charge, done that, made every shot. What a night for Derek White. You're right, what an acquisition for this group.
Smith Jr. with the floater gets it to fall. Remember Derek White last year in that conference final series against the Miami Heat. So many brilliant moments for him, so many clutch moments. 7 threes for him here in the first half, tying a career high. Tatum playing with his food over to Grant Williams. And Williams with the rebound. Here's Rozier. It's about a 6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Rozier out top with 9 in the game. Working against Tatum, his former teammate. Here's Smith Jr., not a noted three-point shooter, but knocks that one home. With 9.4 to go. Well, coming up on the toe to halftime, Jalen Brunson with a big night for the Knicks. Tatum with the three. It's raining three-pointers. And that's the end of the first half of play. An incredible first half for the Celtics. And as I mentioned, that's what's coming up on the in that first half. That foul is going to go against Grant Williams, his second personal foul. First team foul here in the third quarter.
As you mentioned, he's very comfortable here. His first 4 seasons. Remember the season they had a lot of key players injured, and the run Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Terry Rozier were a part of.
Rozier had 19 points a couple of nights ago in that loss in Washington. That 19 points snapped a string of 5 consecutive games with 20 or more. Misses the second. And here's Derek White. Rozier switches on to him. Tatum at the free throw line, sprays it out to Hauser. And the beat goes on for Boston. This time it's Sam Hauser, making his second start of the season tonight. LaMelo off glass, tipped it up, and it comes out to Tatum. Boston on the move. Tatum steps through and gets the lefty layup. Rozier got it. What a tough shot over Robert Williams.
Yeah, he can flat score, Terry Rozier. Keeps you off balance with a little change of gear if he's going downhill.
Putting some good time here in Boston, the team that he was drafted by. Whistle and a foul going to go against Rozier. Then signed a lucrative free agent deal with the Hornets years ago.
That's exactly right. And this is something Tatum has done to a much greater degree this year. Go left on his drive. The ability to be physical at the cup, consistently finish at the rim. There's a bit of a struggle down the stretch of the playoffs last year.
Yes. Feels much fresher now, albeit it's still early February. Rob Williams with the jump hook.
I want him engaged and aggressive offensively. We know what he is defensively, a monster presence. He changes the equation. There's more levels for Robert Williams on the offensive end.
Rozier with a step-back jumper, no good, and rebounded by White. Tatum cross court, one more to Williams. Unselfish passing. Williams fails to cash out. LaMelo Ball into the front court, 11 points, 5 rebounds, a couple of dimes. Working against Tatum, pulls a long three. Tatum made a nice rim run. He was open for a while. They didn't see him. White calls his own number and left it short. Ball leading the break out to Rozier. Rips through and draws the hit. Let's go to Cassidy.
Hey guys, we just want to talk a little bit about Joe Mazzulla being the youngest head coach in the NBA at 34. He's actually younger than 36-year-old Al Horford and around the same age as Blake Griffin, who turns 34 in March. And I asked Joe about the dynamic of being a first-time head coach at 34, coaching veteran guys like that. And he said, I just think you have to have a level of humility. He said that he'll often ask them what they think because, quote, they've seen it longer than I have seen the ups and downs of the league. He also called Al and Blake thermostats. They know the temperature in the room, have a great feel in the league, so he tries to empower them, and he appreciates how they allow him to be himself as he's figuring out this role. So he said he really appreciates the relationship he has with those two guys in particular on the team.
Cassidy mentioned the key word, humility, coupled with his basketball intellect. When you talk about NBA players, as White gets another three to go, that's going to be his 9th three-pointer. Check that 8th.
It's just an authenticity to Joe Mazzulla. And I always say this about NBA players. You can't feign anything with them.
No.
They sniff out a lot of,
inauthenticity.
BS.
They're like dogs and kids, man. You can't fool them. Got that extra sense. Picked off by Washington. What a bounce pass to Hayward from LaMelo Ball. Wow, he had a tight window and got that pass somehow to make it.
It's incredible. It could be at any angle, through any small window. You know how Mahomes, not a direct comparison, but you know how Mahomes will sometimes change the throwing angle of his arm?
Yeah.
LaMelo does that between the lines.
Okay, with that, you got to give me a Super Bowl prediction because we got a timeout after that 3. Kansas City?
Folks, it's a tease. Come back on the other side, and I might tell you. And LeBron was talking, somebody asked him, a reporter asked him about him, and he said, I'm not going to say unicorn, I'm going to say alien. Yeah. And they show Wembanyama that. So everybody's been a unicorn over the last few years. Well, he's more like an alien. Look at him, 7'3", 8-foot wingspan, ridiculously skilled, folks, at 7'3". Imagine trying to contest that guy's shots. His handle is tight. He can spin, can make plays off the bounce.
Caught part of his game this afternoon on the NBA app.
Shoot, I could scout for a team if I had to, you know, look at him.
That's an easy one. That's an easy one. Little light work for Terry Rozier on that mid-range jump shot to make it a 20-point game. Rozier with 14 as we approach the midway point of the third quarter. There's Luke Cornett, who gave the Celtics really solid minutes off the bench a couple of nights ago in that win against Philadelphia. And on cue, draws the foul and one.
So we gotta give you a look at Wembanyama. I mean, this guy, the reach, the instincts. He's free throw line and staying in front and sending it back, and then a little bit of a glimpse offensively. Turn over that left shoulder, release point high, looking like the Slim Reaper right there.
You know what I love about him is the fact that some people have tried to encourage him to throttle down and just shut it down and be ready for the draft, train for the draft. He continues to play for his French League club because he's that type of competitor.
Love it.
A good sign.
Love it, love it.
He used to play for Asvel in the French League, which is the squad owned by Tony Parker. Damn! Oh, he gave them smoke. And the lead is up to 23. Hayward misfiring. Hauser with the board. Jason Tatum with 25 points. And wide open room service for Cornet. Clifford makes the call. But they're going to run a little horns here. LaMelo pulls from deep. And LaMelo Ball, after a solid start, is now 5 for 15. Tatum steps through and one. Light work. Showing him how it's done.
He's out here producing like Jimmy Jam right now.
Yes. Choreographing and making music.
This is ridiculous. I mean, the Euro step, as I said, career high. 70% in the restricted area. Was a weakness, now it's a strength.
You might be looking at the MVP right there, folks. Best player, best team, well-rounded game, both ends of the floor. Tatum with third quarter production here, 10 points in the period. 4. Boy, somebody closed the door. A little bit strong and coming back the other way. Hey, NBA jerseys are trade resistant. That's right. Amex Jersey Assurance allows card members to exchange their jersey within 1 year of purchase if their player changes teams or numbers, only at the NBA store. Terms apply. Learn more at nbastore.com/Amex.
Sending that Brooklyn number 7 back.
Yeah, full refund if you use the card. Good for a year. And Dennis Smith Jr. going to come in. What do you think about number 7 going to the desert? Does that automatically make Phoenix the #1 seed in the Western Conference?
Can we all just slow our roll just ever so briefly? Because I feel like...
Man, you used to be fun, Doris. What happened? What happened?
I got old. No, but seriously, how many months ago were we proclaiming the Brooklyn Nets were the champions to be?
Yeah. Well,
Right?
like 2 weeks ago, almost.
So I get it, you know, obviously, you know, the top 4 and whoever you start, whether it's Torrey Craig or TJ Warren, like, yes, they're formidable. I think what I like about the pairing of Devin Booker and Kevin is two guys who are all about basketball, whose priority is basketball.
That's going to be a traveling violation. Well, there's a look at the core 4. Devin Booker recently returning to action off of that injury. And when you look at Durant, Booker, and CP3, you have 3 of the top mid-range scorers off the bounce in the entire NBA. And during the playoffs, we all know that that's where a lot of the secret sauce is for success.
Yeah, free throw, as C.J. McCollum likes to say, boxes and elbows when it matters most.
24-point game, Brogdon out top. Here's Tatum, whips it cross court, made the right play. Burnett couldn't get the board. It comes off to the Hornets and Hayward. Hayward wide open from 17, knocks it home. And Joe Mazzulla calls a timeout. Back after this.